Hi, how are you? Okay, I need to do something for Dove right now.
Hi.
How are you, Rafi?
Hi.
Okay, here we go. I need to invite Dove because he's having a little problem. Oops. Oops.
Hi.
Hi. Just a second. I have to get back to you.
Oh,
There we go.
did you have a good holiday?
I did. Thank you so much. It was very different and I missed everybody. I love what I do. I knew that before, but I knew it even more on vacation. I really, really love what I do. So that's nice. Yeah.
That's good. That's the best.
Yeah. How are you feeling, Isabel?
I'm feeling very good.
I'm
Very
feeling
good. Yeah, I just started to drive. Well, maybe it was last week. Yes, to drive again after not driving for a month. But it's like riding a bicycle, really.
yes, yes.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we're waiting a few minutes. Dove is having a little problem. I was going to try to call him, but he's not answering his phone because he's trying to get on our call.
You have a nice holiday?
Oh, I did. Thank you, John. I was just telling Isabel and everyone that I actually missed being here so much and everything else that I do. I love what I do. And so not doing it was refreshing, but I really love what I do. So that's great. Yeah.
Welcome back.
Thank
Thank you. Hi, everybody.
you.
There's Lynn.
Hi.
Hi, Lynn.
Hi. Hi. So good to see all of you.
Good to see you too.
Yes. We're waiting for Dove to get on. He's having a Zoom problem. Here come more people. Hi, Kazi. Kathleen. Hi,
Oh, my.
Lee.
Hey, Rosalyn.
So good to be here.
And Leanne is here. Wow.
We're having treats tonight. I'm gonna wait another minute or two. Just let me poll everyone. Go ahead, Lynn.
How was your vacation?
My vacation was wonderful. It was a lot of hiking, a lot of being out in nature, a lot of being with friends and family. And so always big learning, especially when you're with family. It's
Oh,
very,
yeah.
yeah. Great times to practice. Yeah.
Opportunities.
Remember truth.
Mhm.
Yeah, let's see, how's their time? Another minute. Yeah. Thank you for coming early. That's so lovely of all of you, because then we can, have a quorum when we start. Otherwise, I try to repeat myself, but I don't always remember when I try to bring people up to date, because I go to that zone that I'm kind of not that conscious. So it's really a gift when you come early like this. Hi, Diane.
Hi. Hi, everybody.
Hi.
Hi.
I was saying Dov will be coming as soon as he figures out what his problem is. I tried calling, but he's doing it himself.
You'll probably manage to figure it out.
I think so.
Oh, there's
Rico.
Hi.
Rico's here. And Kathleen.
Mr. John.
So lovely.
Hey, Rafi.
No, I didn't realize it was just.
Hi, everybody.
Hi, Robin.
Leanne. Oh, my God.
Hello, everyone.
Hello.
All right.
Yeah.
It's 4:01. I think I'm going to start while we're having a soft opening, waiting. Probably another couple of people will come, and maybe Dov will join us when he works out his Zoom issue. Raise your hand if you think that your main issue with Course in Miracles, non-duality, is remembering. Does that seem like your main issue or not?
Maybe.
It's hard to say main issue.
Well, okay. Is it like a top 10?
Remembering, wait, what? Just memory in
Okay,
general,
forget it.
remembering what I really
Should
want.
I say forgetting? Thank you, Rafi. Let me be a little clearer. Raise your hand if it's one of your top 10. Thank you for helping me formulate this question. That you get absorbed in the world as it appears and forget, there's Dov. Hi, you got on. Yay.
Yay.
We're just starting, and we were having a soft opening, and I was asking the group if in one of their top 10, if they were to discern what their top 10 issues, because the group was helping me formulate it.
Okay.
Remembering oneness or forgetting, if either side of it, getting absorbed in the world's quote unquote problems. Raise your hand if that seems to be one of your top 10.
And forgetting that we're all one. Forgetting.
Yes. Forgetting who you really are. Yes.
There we go.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's getting better, though.
Okay. So we're all there. Dov, do you want me to continue, or did you want to start with?
No, please continue. Actually, I'm calling you from my cell phone.
Oh,
I'm still not in from my desktop, but go ahead, continue.
But
I'm listening.
let me just ask you one thing. Did you try just without having an account? Did you try just clicking on the link that I sent you? Just try that.
Yeah, but it keeps coming up the same thing. Asking for I have to download Zoom on my desktop. That is what I got to do.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
All right. So what I realized this week, because some of you know that I teach something called the Enneagram, and that's just a personality study. It has a spiritual base back down to the Sufi times, but you're not your personality. And that's why I can still teach it. I've known it since 1995. And this is not an advertisement for the Enneagram. This is about an awakening that was deeper for me this week, like a new wrinkle, not a real brand new awakening, but a new wrinkle, a new lens. Anything that talks about something like the Enneagram or your ego or the places in the Course in Miracles that can everybody mute yourselves, and then you can unmute if you want to speak. We'll get a clear audio tape. The Course in Miracles is a progressive path, right? It speaks to us as a belief in a separate person, as an ego. It talks to us about choosing again. And then it has a section called the real world, so that it wakes us up to this world that's not the real world. And it's almost like a ventriloquist who can speak one way and then speak another way as though it's to another level. It's not about a puppet as a ventriloquist, but it speaks to the oneness underneath when the other words that talk about a person and your brother and separate beings. So what came to me this week, and some of you who were with me on Monday for the meditation group heard that there's only one world. It's just another way of being in the oneness. But even the ego, even the personality, even what in the Jewish people would call the mishigas, the craziness, even all of that is part of the one quantum field. And then it matches up with physics, it matches up with the mystics. And I was showing this globe, it came to me during vacation. And when I just shook it up, everybody can see it. You know what these snow globes look like. When we're in the world, we get these crazy paradigms, the world as we know it. We get this interaction of snowflakes or whatever it is. And when it settles down, it just is. But it's being held by something. And the holding of the something is the local awareness. It's the part that is aware of our being in the world. It knows we're judging. It knows we're choosing again. It knows we're being kind. It knows we're on a progressive path. It knows we have attack thoughts, whatever, good or bad, those dual words. But there's a something that's holding the snow globe that's invisible. And the snow globe is being held by the space in the room, by the hand that's holding it, by the body that's holding it. And let's go even further around the snow globe into that oneness where there's just one world. Now, the separate mind says, well, why would the oneness hold the craziness of separation? But we don't even need to follow a question like that. we can just drop around the snow globe in and be held. Our bodies are now being held by the room. The body held the snow globe. The room held the snow globe. Around us is the energy of the quantum field. There is only one world. There is only the oneness. So I don't have to even deal with a separate self because it doesn't exist. And as long as I don't feed it and believe in it, there's nothing to do. Like the Course says, doing will happen. And we are being held by the force, the quantum field that controls the weather, that is the everything that we all belong to without achieving anything. And there's nothing to remedy. There's no ego to even relax unless we come back to it. But we can remember, instead of remembering how we used to remember, we can remember this holding of the snow globe, the holding of our bodies, the holding of the belief in separation, the holding of this crazy world into the bigger world. And then there's nothing to even be upset about because there is only one world. There's not the real world and the unreal world, because the Course tells us at the end, forget everything I told you earlier. Forget this world, forget this Course, because we needed it before. We don't need it anymore. And if we forget, all we have to do is remember this feeling, this sensation. Remember the snow globe. The snow globe gets shooken up and it looks like a real puzzle, or looks like a real problem. It looks like a real situation. And yet, when we don't touch it, it just calms down and disperses into the nothingness that it is. Now, we are real, but we're not separate beings. So we're sentient, we have feelings, we have reactions, we have sensations in a physicality, and that all fits with quantum physics. Not the personal self, just the energetic self. The energetic self of everything. And there's something called the reticular activating system. We don't need to know all about that, but it's something about the brain that serves to prove us right. It tries to ignore the memory of this kind of holding and remember instead the hurt, the time you were slighted, the this, the that, the whatever is your issue for today. But that doesn't make it real. We can change that reticular activating system by our willingness to what we choose to remember. We don't have to say this is a meditation state. We can say this is life with a capital L, the only world there is. There's only one world. So we don't need to worry about our egos or our enneagrams. We can let them be And interestingly enough, when we're not so interested in them, they don't have the same stranglehold. It's easy in our harness, easy in the formation of the energy that we've been given at this particular second. The next second, an activity may be pushed through us where we are being lived by a new moment. And we might do something or say something just as the Course tells us, but it's not a separate self. It's just the weather. We are the weather. Not the upset of the weather, just the comings and goings. The sky, the clouds, the sun, the moon. Perceptions don't matter. We have them, we embrace them. And as long as we don't add paragraphs, they just come and go. We have so much gratitude for allowing life as it is. It opens our hearts. It opens our minds. We're allowed to be used by the oneness. It feels wonderful to be used by the oneness, but not a wonderful that's better than or worse than, just the ease of allowing. And when you would enjoy coming back into this world, the one world that there is, you can bring this peace, this relaxation, this allowing into whatever is going on with you, and remember it. That's all it takes, remembering it instead of the other focus, which I won't even refer to, because you'll deal with those focuses. They are part of the one world, oneness. And that's where we can bring in this moment where we get to see each other anew, be with each other anew, with soft eyes, with soft hearts, with deep vision from the oneness, and with gratitude that there's nothing to do, just allowing. Even the craziness that you thought was crazy is part of the oneness. That may be radical, maybe not. And I'd love to hear from you when you're ready to come back. Lynn, thank you.
You have such a beautiful voice, Rosalyn, so soothing. This morning I wrote a poem about what you're talking about, kind of.
Read it to us. Go ahead.
Oh, okay, okay. It's still a little rough, but I call it Who Am I? I am past a persona that doubts itself. I trust all parts fit the puzzle. Any doubt will not be judged. All is needed in the play. All places of now are in light. I am of its embrace. I am us who dance in love, sparks of joy that feeds itself, flames that quicken as we burn.
Wow. Yes. One mind. We're together. Absolutely.
Thank you.
Yeah. Wow. Any reactions to any any disturbance with anything?
Well, I had issue I've been dealing with all day, and this helped resolve it beautifully. A lot of was formerly subconscious fear of rejection, fear of failure, fear of the pain. Let me rephrase that: fear of the pain of rejection, fear of the pain of failure was coming up, and I was welcoming it all up and releasing it. And then you went into this, and that solidified the entire situation and helped it dissolve beautifully. So thank you.
Oh, thank you, Rafi. Yeah. It's just another kind of piece of the oneness for me, that there aren't two worlds, and there isn't, because I was continuing to say, and my personality felt this and so on. And I feel like I was perpetuating the memory of the separate world. And then it came, there's only one world. And I knew that it was a new integration, if you will, when I can think of my daughter Melissa as just energy rather than my sweet Melissa who passed. That and it doesn't feel less, it doesn't feel a degraded place, it doesn't feel less holy. It's taken a while to make energy a beloved, if you will. You know, it's it sounds like a kind of cold word or something. We don't necessarily, at least I can speak for myself, and I think others. I'm struggling, not struggling, but I'm contemplating really, why have we as a society not applied quantum physics to our experience of living as a culture? Why do we know it in our heads? We accept it. They haven't been able to find solid bodies. And yet we live as though we're solid bodies. So what are the ingredients of that? What is that? And I think one of the things is that word energy, we don't know what to make of that. We used to feel so personal about ourselves. And like Rafi was saying, we have these moments, but that reticular activating system, it's a fancy word, you don't need to know it, but the mind, this brain, will search to make your beliefs correct. So whatever you believe, you'll be right. And Dove always talks to us about what the Course says about being right. But there is a part of our brain that will disown what doesn't fit and bring back the memories of what fits. That's why whatever we believe, we're right, because we'll prove it. We're not really right, but we'll prove it in our lives so that we feel consonant, so that we don't feel upset. There's something in psychology called cognitive dissonance, and I just full of fancy words today, but it means that when you tell a lie, how many of you remember telling a lie as a kid and repeating it, and pretty soon you believed it? Raise your hand if you remember that. You might have done it yesterday, but certainly we did it as kids. And that's that cognitive dissonance. It feels so bad for a person that has scruples and has some caring and for other people or themselves, feels kind of icky to be lying. So after a while you believe it. That's the dissonance and the cognizance. So the reticular activating system is like that. We fool ourselves so that our beliefs show up. You see I'm inadequate. You see, once again, blah, 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 blah. I don't even like to make up a story like that because I don't want it to be confirmed to anybody. But the good point, the exciting part for me, because this is part of my TEDx talk, I really want to talk about quantum physics for the everyday person, and spirituality from quantum physics, so that it's available to people who are not on a spiritual path, who have not done A Course in Miracles or non-duality. And so that's why some of these things are coming to me as tools to remember. Rico, you have your hand up. And John, please. Rico, where are you? There you are.
Good evening, family and friends. Thank you for allowing me to be here with you. I send you love, light, and well-being from my heart to yours. You know, I really enjoyed that beginning, Rosalyn. I had to take a trip to a pharmacy today, and there was a lot of people in there online. And I said, rather than get frustrated, why don't I try and sew a web of oneness? And I went around in my mind to each person, put my hand in my heart. They probably thought I was crazy. And I said, what does it feel like to be one with everybody in this pharmacy? And it was all kinds of people, everybody from a CEO down to a blue collar worker. I mean, all kinds of people. And I got a little bit of the oneness. And when you did this little meditation today, it was like a magic carpet ride. It was like so smooth. And what really shed light on it is when you said soft eyes and a soft heart. And I said, that's what I had in the pharmacy. I allowed myself to have soft eyes and a soft heart. And I have to thank you, but I have to add that to my repertoire instead of just bringing people together, to just let it flow, let it happen, let it be like it is, and just ease in, get in where I fit in, and just be and enjoy. And those soft eyes and that soft heart is going to do it for me. I feel it. I felt it during then, and I got to add it to my repertoire. Thank you.
I feel it now. Don't you? Raise your hand if you feel it for Rico. Yes, we'll all add it. Yes. Thank you. That's beautiful. John, you had your hand up.
Yeah, I just wanted to say that I enjoyed that too. And it just brought me to remind of the one world, the one life. And how that showed up for me when you asked a question about how come we don't buy into this? And for me, it's the answer is quite simple: is we're too attached to our Newtonian materialistic views, the things of the world, our bodies, our money, our stuff like that. We place all our confidence and reality in that, and to let go of that it's a stretch. So, like, yeah, theoretically it's fine and dandy, you know, just great at the conference or anywhere else. But hey, when we come down to it, you know, like I'm at the pharmacy with the rest of my people to get drugs for my body, or at the grocery store to get food for my body, and I got to check my bank account, blah blah blah. It's our materialism that stands in the way, and I don't know the answer for that, other than showing up at places like this and doing the soft eyes, because I had that experience myself. But then it becomes an inner knowing for myself, and you know, but I can't transfer that, Rosalyn.
So yes, I would really like to respond to that, John. When I went to India in 1995, there were a few things that he was a non-dual teacher, Ramesh Belskar. He's not alive anymore. But one of the things that has stood out, and I have never forgotten, is he said that in the Western world, you think of your goals as positive. You love your goals. You are attached to your goals. You think that your goals have brought you pleasure and success and happiness. What you don't realize, and this shocked me, is that you, all the rest of the time that you're not noticing, are hurting yourself with your goals. Because first of all, a goal, he said, is you're saying you're not okay with what is. I need something else. I lack this. You're really describing what's missing. He says, but you don't pay attention to that. And so you're doing to get this thing. So that was, in a way, a concept. He opened my eyes. So yeah, that was important. When my daughter Melissa passed, and I was suffering, I was attached to her body. I was attached to the idea of our family being 4 people. And we do Christmas this way, and we do that way, and all of what you can imagine. I like doing this with her. I like, whatever level you want to take it to. The suffering was beyond anything I can describe. I felt my life was over. I could care less about any concepts or spiritual beliefs. I wasn't even trying to pull them back. I was just in it. And then I was graced by being shaken. I wouldn't have tried to wake up to something. I had no interest in it. I was in it, in the muck, 100%. But I was shaken into seeing this second. I don't know how to say it better in words. This second, I'm not suffering. If I go back to what happened, I still remember she's not here anymore. She died. I got those words. I don't usually say died. Whatever it was, it wasn't out loud. I remembered she was gone, supposedly, but it didn't hurt. What is that? And first I went to the taboo. Well, then how could I love her? I couldn't admit it to myself. Could I really say I'm not suffering? But I had to say it. It was so true. I had to. And maybe all those years of spiritual training, because I'm 74. So, that was 1995. I don't do the math. How old was I then? But maybe that kicked in. I don't know. I had to tell the truth, at least to myself. But here's where it fits into what you were saying, John. I was telling them, my meditation group on Monday, I have it absolutely clear, unquestioning 100% when it has to do with Melissa, because it's like the fire. If you got burned badly, you would not try the fire out again. You just wouldn't, because it hurts too badly. And there's a choice. Take your hand out of the fire. I have no desire to go back to past and future. If only we'd gotten the medics, if only this or that, or what would we be like if she were here now, or the children she could have had. I equate that with suffering. I know that it's suffering. That's what I don't have in other areas of my life, 100% like I have it there. And that's why I feel that it's landed on me to, if you want to add meaning to it, why I have to teach about this, because I know it there. And so I am desirous, I am filled with an energy to want to see what can bring us back to that remembering in present time, like in the meditation, all was well. That was like my waking up from the suffering, whatever our day was, whatever was going on before, we don't have it there. When we go there, it's not in present time. It's only past and future, and what we think, feel about the stuff, the attachments that you brought up, John. Does that relate to what, am I connecting? Yes, he has thumbs up.
Yes, you are very much. I appreciate you, Rosalyn. That's very, 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 very symbolic and just a massive download.
Yeah, so when we think we love our things, let's look at the other side, and the things always add to more things, they just do. Maybe there's a quick stop when you got the one thing you wanted, and then it will be replaced. Dove, do you have anything to say? Are you present with us? I don't know. He's got his picture up. Maybe he's on vacation today. Anybody else have a reaction to that? You know, to just opening our eyes and using our minds to remember. There you go.
I'm back.
You're
I'm
on.
back. Okay, I was listening to the whole thing and I was trying to get on my desktop, but to no avail. But let me see if I can continue. First of all, what Rosalyn is saying is just about the same topic that I was going to look at. When we use our past reference points, our past thinking that we know anything, what we're actually doing is just tapping into the ego's way of seeing anything. So like I'm going to take a look at chapter 16, section 1. It's called True Empathy. I'm just going to read from paragraph 3. And I say that true empathy in chapter 16, section 1, the first page and a half to me is the entire course. And, you know, I always say things like that to kind of help shorten, you know, because he says the same thing over and over again, the 1,300 pages. So if you can find one thing that actually gives you an overview, and true empathy is one where it does. Paragraph 3 says, your part is only to remember this. You do not want anything that you value to come of a relationship. So he's starting right off. He says, anything that you think you know, the goals that you have for relationships, that's the ego's goals. They aren't the Son of God's goals for a relationship. He says, you choose neither to hurt the relationship nor to heal it in your own way. You do not even know what healing is. That's sentence number 3 of paragraph 3. You don't even know what healing is. All you have learned of empathy is from the past. And there's nothing from the past that you would share. Nothing. But there is nothing from the past that you would keep. I mean, the past and the future belongs to the ego. The only place where the Son of God is safe, where he can remember the truth of what he is right here, right now. And obviously you can't take any baggage with you. You can't take the past with you and be here now. You either, that's why lesson 130 says, it's impossible to be in two different worlds. You can't be in time and in eternity at the same time. You have to really choose. I mean, basically the power of decision is our own. It's the idea that only the truth is true and nothing else is true. But if you want to live in the past, that's not the truth. I kind of think, I think I was here last week saying the same thing, saying, you know, like the ego always knows who the good guys are and who the guys I don't like, the guys I want to win, the guys I don't want to win. I know what channels to watch, what announcers to watch. You know, I always know where to go. How do you know? The ego knows for you. The ego has made up its mind. It chooses one side over the other, which is basically a win-lose game. And in a win-lose game, nobody wins, basically. It's a lose-lose. Either all win together as one, equal, or you're playing the ego's game of inequality. The moment you go to inequality, you basically already defeated yourself. You're saying that you are not what God created. I'm not the same. God's not the same. Nothing's the same. At the end of Christmas, as the end of sacrifice, says, make this year different by making it all the same. I think I told this story last week when I was here. I'll tell it again. There's this guy Mark who posts on Facebook a lot, and he posts on Open Minds, and he says there's a story about this mystical guy who literally
We lost anybody remember the story from last week? No.
That was in the past, Valerie.
Yes,
Rosalyn.
that's right. That's right. Well, let me pick up here. So we're getting an emphasis on present time. And would you raise your hand if you're interested? Is he back? No. Yes. Go ahead. You were telling the story.
Yeah. So he had this mystical experience. It's so beautiful here. He said, "Can I stay?" And they said, "When you see everybody as the same, you can stay here forever." Which is basically, that is what heaven is. You have to see all as one, as the same. But as long as we see inequality, like, well, I like that guy and I don't like this guy, basically that's, exactly as Rosalind says, you really have no goals that are real goals. In fact, my mantra lesson, which I had for 16 years, lesson 25, I don't know what anything is for. He says in paragraph 5 of that lesson, he says, it's not that you have goals, some are good and some are bad. None of them really mean anything. So when you can return your mind to that open place and say, I do not know, what you're really doing is I'll continue in that paragraph 3 from chapter 16. He says, step gently aside and let healing be done for you. Keep but one thought in mind and do not lose sight of it. Keep one thought in mind and do not lose sight of it. However tempted you may be to judge any situation and to determine your response by judging it. Focus your mind only on this. I am not alone. I would not intrude the past upon my guests. I'm not going to tell the Holy Spirit what it is I like and I don't like. I have invited him in. He is here, and I need do nothing except not to interfere. So all that we're asked to do is to say, I will make no decisions by myself. I will turn the decision over to the Holy Spirit because I don't really know what to say or what to do, but I let him teach me what to say and what to do. That's how you develop trust. And those people who know my acronym for trust, to rely upon spirit totally, TRUST, to rely upon spirit totally. And of those 5 words, the key word is totally. The ego says, well, I can depend on him for the things I can't handle, but I can handle most of the things. No, totally means you want to let go of everything that you think is true. Not one thought in your mind, as Jesus says in the Course in Miracles, is true. I'll turn the mic back on over to you, Rosalyn. Thanks.
Yes, that's beautiful. No exceptions. Let's allow ourselves to be lived. But let's not judge anything. Let's not call anything bad. Let's not be the decider of what's good and bad. And so I would invite you to even play with, if it helps you, to let go the study of the ego. We all needed it. When we came to A Course in Miracles, we needed to learn how the ego behaves, vicious at best, or whatever how do you say it, Dove? Untrustworthy or vicious at best, or something like that. But we've learned those things. We've learned all about that. And now for many advanced students of A Course in Miracles and teachers of A Course in Miracles, we then judge the ego. It's either of ego or spirit. Let's allow ourselves to be lived. Let's do our opening, if that's our willingness. Willingness is a big word in the Course. And if we find that willingness, let's just stay with that and not be the judge of how it turned out. Well, that was of the ego or it wasn't. Do you see? I feel that stops the being lived. Does anybody have a reaction to that? And Rico, did you have your hand up? Is it up from before, or is it?
I probably forgot to put it down. I'll take care of it.
Okay. Does that resonate with anybody to be interested in the experiment of being lived. There's not one person here, I don't think, that's brand new to the course or brand new to this. Lynn, please.
I love you guys. I was this weekend I was saying, I don't talk well. I write better than I talk, and blah 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 blah. And that's what inspired the poem about. I have a mantra. I will step back and let him lead the way, because, like Doug says, I don't know when this for, and my persona might seem a certain way, but I can't call that ego. I just call it a part.
Mhm.
It's a part of the whole. And so if I can't talk, I'll write.
Mhm.
So
Let me ask you, Lynn, when you say, I'm interested in your personal experience. When you say, I will step back and let him lead the way, do you feel a separation from him? Do you feel like there's an I and a him, or an I and a God, or an I and something else?
No, I don't. I feel that it's my higher being.
So there's just one leading the way, right? Yeah, because I think that's an important step for everyone to notice, because for a long time when I was doing the course, it did keep on making it feel like God the bigger and me the smaller, and spirit and ego, and it was not releasing me. I don't know if any words would have, I really had to lose Melissa to wake up. I think, I don't know, who knows what the other path would have been, don't know. But I just urge everybody to, if the words are separating in the sense of two, or you're feeling like the smaller and there's a bigger, I urge you to play with words like love or oneness or neutrality or being lived. Anybody want to react to that? Mayfer.
Hi.
And Diane next.
Hi, my friends. Sorry that I was late. I was out taking someone to leave this place. I want to share that this week I was teaching chapter 15, the Holy Instant. And something that touched a lot myself is the idea that if I believe that I am other thing different that God created me, I am in littleness. And for me right now, every day after that, it's like I am not able, I don't want to continue to share any idea of littleness.
Yes.
Littleness can when we judge, exactly that you say, right? And for me, it's like, okay, I need to see what I am doing, right? To check if I am choosing the Holy Spirit, if I am choosing the idea in that God created me in truth, and it's okay. I give up. I don't know what anything is for, but I don't want to. I want to let it go judgment completely, because that is peace.
Mayfer, is there a difference for you if I say creation is pushing you to take this next step versus the creator? I know this is English and it's your second language, but can you feel what I'm asking you, or anybody? Notice the difference between creation is moving you in a certain direction. You're feeling the intuition to go this way versus that, versus a creator is making you do it. Is
Yeah,
there a
because
difference?
the creation is the Holy Son of God.
Yes.
And if I said that, the problem is that we don't accept that we are the Holy Son of God. But when we start to accept, immediately we go to the Creator, right? Because that is our source. Is that I understood in that way.
Yes, I think your spirit got it. That the creation is us. And we are the creator. We are creation. But I'm very sensitive. Doesn't matter what I feel. I just want to open the door to you being aware of what it does to you, because language is dualistic, and we're trying to open to the oneness. And so any words that make you feel, as Mayfer says, little, God the greater, because even if you never had any religious background, it's in the culture, God the greater and you the lesser. Even if someone is an atheist and says, I don't believe in God, they're speaking of the one being, or the one, larger entity. And it's a little hard to know our power of eternity when we make ourselves little, as Mayfer said. It's hard to know the quantum field. It's hard to know we are that. It's hard to, let's not keep doing what I was doing and saying it's hard. Let's remember we are the full quantum field, that we are full potential, and allow ourselves to be lived by that potential without, as Dove says, any goals, any ideas of right and wrong, any preferences, any opinions. And we don't have to put that down if we have any. I had an interesting experience this week. It was just interesting to me because I'm kind of a chocoholic. I'm a chocolate foodie person. I'm a snob in the sense that I don't like Hershey's and I like the expensive tasting, delicious, whatever. And so I was holding on to a preference for chocolate, between the chocolates, and who would want something like this other dessert when it's not that. And I was like, wow, I got to see that another dessert could be just as wonderful. And it's a small thing. It's very small. And yet in the life of Rosalyn, it's a big letting go. And even to let go that chocolate isn't my best friend. There were years that I was joking and said I wanted to be buried in chocolate. I loved it that much. That's a little off, and I don't tell people that very often, but that's where I was, and it's so fun to allow these preferences to dissolve and to just be wide open to what is. Now, does anybody have anything from today that's still disturbing? Diane, I did promise to get to you. Go ahead.
Right. This is not an answer to your current question,
Yes.
but just a comment on an experience that I realized that the minute I see God, I'm on other.
Yes.
That word is like automatic. And we've been doing a lot of the lessons as God is this, God is this, God is this. And it's been very frustrating. And the other day, it was like 261, and God is my refuge and my security. And I finally got it because I realized that my house, I've been considering my refuge and my security. It's like if I didn't have this home to live in, that something meant something, and I could see that as other.
Yes.
And so what I finally dawned on me is, instead of saying God, to say my mind. as my mind is my refuge and my security. And in that, there is God. It's the inside, it's the internal, it's the one that my mind is the one that goes crazy and doesn't listen or thinks that this is it or that's it. And the minute I shifted from God is my refuge to my mind is my refuge, I had more control. I had more, that's not the right word, but I had more of a sense that I could feel into it and feel that security and feel that refuge that I can create within myself.
Yes, Diane, that's so beautiful that you are on this personal journey to make the words mean what they're supposed to mean to you, not just words. And you're working on finding the heart resonance with the words and noticing that word for you right now is not an opening, that word God isn't an opening. Can I ask you about another word? So you were saying my mind, and maybe I shouldn't touch it because you're feeling comfort, but let me try anyway and play with it.
Well, it's my God mind. It's not.
Yeah, okay.
It's not,
so how is it if you say the one mind or
no, because that puts me at other again.
that puts you at other, but I guess what I was asking about was the my, because you're then still personalizing, but it is still a personal experience. So
Well, it has to go inside.
yes,
It has to go inside. It has to be within me.
yes.
And without then I have no relationship or
I see where you are.
where to direct it.
I hear you. I understand. That's beautiful. You're totally getting where you are. And let's join Diane and start inside our own minds, inside our own hearts. And let's join with each other in a mind that is shared with each other, a heart that is shared with each other, in a love that is shared with each other, in an energy that it isn't held by any bones or any skin and doesn't belong to anyone. And that's the one mind that Diane is speaking of when she says my mind. She's speaking of the mind. I believe this mind that she is showing us how she personalizes the all so that she can experience it. And we can experience it with her and with each other and with all the others that are not others. So the words, we can play with the words until our hearts are in resonance with truth. And we know when we're in truth because in this millisecond, we're not hurting. Truth doesn't hurt. Doug, you have something to say? Not sure who he is. How was that for everybody to take Diane's word and then join her? How was that for you, Diane, that we joined you that way?
Lovely. It was all one mind. I mean,
yes. And so I encourage everybody to play with any words that don't feel resonant with your heart, because we have to be in congruity. We have to, we don't have to, I have to watch my words. We don't have to anything, but we have an opportunity to be in the oneness when we find the words that resonate and open us. something in the chat.
Looks like David is online. David's
Yeah, I'm
online.
here. I'm here. Yeah, I just want to say that inclusion of seeing all included equally in the one mind invites atonement automatically. He tells you that in chapter 6, section 2. Holy Spirit's alternative to projection. When you include all, projection excludes. Inclusion invites atonement automatically. By seeing all the same, you are included in that sameness, in that oneness. That is the atonement.
Yes, thank you. Beautifully said. The Course is such poetry. Yes. So, does anybody have something that you would like to add before we close?
I would like to say that for me, bring me to the Holy Instant. That was so beautiful. Bring me to the now, to the Holy Instant.
Say it again, April, please.
I said that for me, bring me to the Holy Instant,
Yes.
the now, to the perfect communication. You know? That we are one.
We are one. We are one. Can you join me in saying we are one?
We are one.
We are one. We are one. We are one. Thank you, everybody. Bless you.
Mwah.
Everybody have a great
Thank you,
evening,
everyone.
great day.
Good night.
Thank you.
Love,
Bye.
love, 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 love.
Mwah, mwah, mwah.
Yeah. All who want to go over to see John Monday, he starts right now at 8 o'clock. I put I put his Zoom link is right up at the top. I'll put it up there again. So you can go over to his thing right now if you wish. I know that Lynn is going for sure.
I
Okay.
can't find it. Where did you put
Here,
it?
I just put it up again. No? You see it?
Well, there's something.
It's the last thing I just put up.
Okay, I can't even read it.
Just click on it. Click on it.
Okay.
Just click it. And you'll be in John Monday's group. Starts right now.
All right, everybody.
Thank you so much,
Thank you so much.
Rosalyn, for being here for all of us.
Thank
Yes.
you for being here and being my trusty buddy, my partner.
Okay. Thank you.
Everybody have the link you need? Yes, you have it? I don't want to close the room until you have it, Diane, if you're looking for it.
I have it. Yeah.
All right. Thank you, everybody. Bye.
Bye now. Love you.